mac and cheese. It's creamy, flavorful, brings me right back to my childhood. So welcome to Cooking with Parker. Today we're going to be making a mac and cheese with a few extra ingredients, but the end result, just a perfect, well-balanced mac and cheese. Can't go wrong with this. So let's go.
Start with our pasta. Just fill up a pot with some water, generously season it, almost like the ocean. Using my nice induction burner, this thing works like magic, just gets water boiling so fast, but you can use any sort of heating element you want. Add 1 pound of pasta using elbow noodles. You can use other types as well, but elbows are kind of the standard southern style. Make sure you stir that while it goes so it doesn't stick together at all. Boil it for about 1 minute under the box instructions, so about 8 minutes for this until it's nice al dente. Next, we're going to do what's called shocking the pasta. So all that means is we're going to drain off all that hot water, make sure you get all the pasta out of the pot, and then cover it with ice water. It's going to stop the cooking process. We're going to finish cooking it as we bake it off later on, so just get that nice and cooled down real quick. Now we're going to make our cheese sauce. So we're going to start with a roux, turn that into a bechamel, then turning that into kind of a take on a Mornay. There's just a bunch of French cooking terms. Roux is butter and flour cooked together. Bechamel is pretty much just a white cream sauce with the base of a roux. And then Mornay is when you add your cheese. So a little bit of education there for you. For the roux, it's kind of 1-to-1, half a cup of butter, half a cup of all-purpose flour. Cook that till it's nice, light golden brown, kind of get rid of that raw flour taste. Next, we're gonna add 4 cups of 2% milk. Gonna slowly whisk that in. Make sure no clumps form. If you got a hot roux, you wanna add a cold liquid. You can cool down your roux, add a hot liquid, just kind of one of those unspoken rules. Don't always follow it exactly though. I'm gonna add 1 cup of heavy cream. Could also just use half and half for this recipe, but I found the cream and milk is a little more cost effective and often what I have on hand. So I'm gonna add a little bit of garlic, just kind of 2 cloves here, turning it into a garlic paste, not being too picky about it. But I think the garlic, not always found in mac and cheese recipes, but just gives an extra depth of flavor. It'll just melt in there when I paste it up like this. Just add it directly to the pot. It'll dissolve completely and just enhance the overall dish. Now we're gonna add our seasonings. I'm starting with 1 teaspoon of white pepper. It's a little more earthy and not quite as sharp as black pepper. And we're doing half a teaspoon of mustard and a 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg. So just those 3 flavors are just gonna brighten up this dish. And we're gonna add 1 ounce of hot sauce using Texas Pete, and then a few dashes of Tabasco. It's not gonna make the dish spicy, it actually enhances the cheddar flavor. Just a little chef's trick right here. So whisk that all together. We're gonna let that cook for a few more minutes, help it thicken up. So while that's going on, I'm gonna shred my cheese. Got a nice pound of sharp cheddar cheese. I got half a pound of Colby Jack or Monterey Jack cheese, just a little bit more mild, kind of balance things out. I hear people say all the time, you have to grate your cheese. I buy that to an extent, but I think sometimes you can get away with using pre-grated cheese, but it does have a kind of de-caking agent that can gloop up your mac and cheese a little bit. I'm just using one of my favorite tools here, a bench scraper, collect up most of the cheese, put it in the pot. I'm gonna save about 1 cup to top our mac and cheese with at the end. We'll finish by baking it off, so just whisk that all together till it melts, gets nice and smooth. One little trick, we're gonna add 2 ounces of Parmesan cheese blend. It's a little flavor booster right there.
Go ahead and try my cheese sauce. It's all the right notes, all those spices, the nutmeg, the white pepper, the Tabasco, balanced out by the cheddar cheese, a little bit of Jack, and then you got that pop of the Parmesan cheese blend. Add our noodles and go on from there.
Just throw our cooked pasta into our cheese sauce, or as I said earlier, you can sound fancy, call it our Mornay sauce. No man left behind with the pasta, so I'm going to use my whisk, work this all together. You could use a spoon as well, but no need to dirty another utensil. Go ahead and spray down a 9x13 casserole dish. This helps it from sticking a little bit. Go ahead and pour our mac and cheese in. Probably eat it as it is right now, but a baked mac and cheese is just something a little bit special. Just brings all those flavors in a little bit more. Put our cheese on top, get a nice crust with that. Just make sure you get nice full coverage, spread your cheese out to all the edges. A lot of people throw breadcrumbs here on this point, but I don't think that's necessary. Cheese crust is gonna be perfect all on its own. Go ahead and pop this in the oven at 350 degrees. Cook this for 20-25 minutes. It gets all nice and bubbly. Cheese gets nice and melted, forms a little crust, got a few little brown spots throughout. Often even turn the broiler on for the last couple minutes, help get it nice and golden brown. Sucker's ready to serve. Go ahead and get myself a spoonful. As you see, it makes a nice big old casserole dish, so you can take this to a potluck or freeze it or scale down the recipe for yourself.
Let's go ahead and get a bite of this mac and cheese. So good. It's creamy, flavorful. You got all those spices and the cream and the roux balancing each other out. Nice cheddar crust on top. I'm telling you, can't go wrong with this. If you like this video, don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.